How's it going, everyone? Equinox Phoenix here, and today we're going to talk about Stargirl Season 1, Episode 7, titled Shiv. So, as we left off last episode, Pat plans to train Beth, Rick, Courtney, and Yolanda. Unfortunately, Courtney is still impatient and still very how do I describe this? I guess overeager is probably the best way to describe it. Which, as we all know, hopefully, when you're overeager, especially in a environment like this, I don't know, environment's probably a good word for it. You get you tend to end up dead, right? Like an overeager sidekick or overeager hero, when they're starting out, even when they're veterans, if you become overeager, let your emotions cloud your judgment, as we know from watching Arrow and Smallville and Supergirl and Flash, being overeager will lead you to your death. Or at least the death of a loved one. This in turn has she kind of just knocks out all of the dummies that are supposed to represent the Injustice Society. And of course, everyone else gets upset because, you know, it's supposed to be team training, not just Courtney training. And so obviously Pat's just like, no, you know what? We're done for the day. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Mixed in with this, we find out that Cindy's father is a chemist, apparently. Now, we don't know who her father is. We actually learned it this episode. Her father is... We actually then find out when she goes home that her father is Dr. Ito. A member of the Injustice Society. That's what the wiki page said. I actually looked up the fandom page, because I was like, who the heck is Cindy? And we see, obviously the Injustice Society is in a meeting, where apparently right under her house. Or to be more precise, it's right under the city, but also right under the house. It's weird. It's like the underground passages don't match up as if they were under a city. It feels like the school, the hospital, Cindy's house, and a bunch of other places are all within less than a mile of each other. I highly doubt Cindy has her house right across the street from the school. And I very, very much highly doubt that the hospital and the high school are right next to each other. Uh, Sorry, Discord's being weird. People are talking on Discord and they're saying weird shit. Anyway, now of course, we see this weird armor that apparently belonged to Cindy's mom, who is dead, as revealed in this episode. It's odd when you think about it, because apparently Cindy used to be really nice up until her mom died, and then her dad remarried twice. We find out that her stepmom is actually a creation of her father's, and her father obviously was Dr. Ito, and apparently he just creates his minions. I mean, Hey, good on you. At least you're not killing actual people. You're just creating them in a lab, and then your daughter's killing them in a fit of rage, apparently. But yeah, now of course we have Homecoming, the Homecoming game, actually, not the dance. In it, Mike blows up in Courtney's face because she's been spending a lot of time with Pat, and he's jealous. I won't say justifiably so. His reasonings are, you don't see me hanging out with Barbara all the time because I don't have a mom. I just deal with it, which that's not fair to Courtney, Pat, or Barbara. Because Barbara's doing her best. Pat is doing his best. Courtney's just spending time with Pat because of the whole new JSA stuff. So it isn't. It's just I feel like that's not okay. Like, I don't know. Maybe Mike will. Maybe Mike will. I guess the term for it is grow up, because you shouldn't be jealous of your stepsister. Like, that's just. You should be jealous of a sibling, period. Step or otherwise. We also find out that Cameron, Icicle's son, yes, Icicle's son, is crushing on Courtney, and he asks her out. And this causes a second rift between Courtney and Cindy, because it looked like they reconciled during chem class, but then obviously her wanting to go to the dance with Cameron made it so that she was like, you know what, forget it. Which, I guess, it's the typical cool kids club, you're either with us or against us. I never understood that when I was in high school. But, I was friends with at least one person in every group in my high school back in the day. Or at least acquaintances with them. I mainly just walked around the school, actually. So, maybe that's why I don't understand it. I made inroads into all the groups and never actually stuck in one place. I don't know. Anyway, obviously this episode then ends with this episode ends with this episode ends with Cindy becoming Shiv, the title character of the episode. And her and Courtney as Stargirl duke it out in the hallways of the school. Yeah. This leads to Courtney being knocked out, and surprise, surprise, our janitor with the very strange sword that I don't know if we've noticed him before. I may have glossed over it in all the previous episodes, but yeah, the school janitor has some weird looking sword and what looks like an altar in the custodian's room. But yeah, he knocks out Cindy after Cindy knocks out Courtney and tries to kill her. The rod leads Pat to Courtney, and the episode ends with Courtney unconscious and Pat freaking out because he thinks she's dead. And this video has gone on long enough. It's been 9 minutes now. Anyway, this episode overall, it feels like a build-up episode, and a pretty good build-up episode overall. So I enjoyed it. Obviously, there are parts I didn't like. I was just like, oh, this feels like it's kind of forced, but like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, tell me what you guys thought of it in the comment section down below. That's it for this video. If you guys haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys next time, and as always, stay bright.